Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to another Magic Arena Explorer video. So today we are playing a bit of a spicy one in that we are doing some temporal shenanigans with Lotus Field. So Lotus Field is a land which comes into play tapped and adds 3 mana of any colour and has hexproof. However, when it enters the battlefield you have to sacrifice 2 lands, so it doesn't actually ramp you in the conventional sense, unless of course you play this particular deck which has a number of ways of preventing that trigger from resolving, so you don't have to sacrifice the 2 lands and you just get the additional 3 mana producing land on the battlefield. So, the different ways this deck can do that is either you have a strict proctor on the battlefield, so that is a 1/3 flying, and whenever a permanent entering the battlefield causes a triggered ability to trigger, counter that ability unless its controller pays 2. So the Lotus Field entering the battlefield triggers an ability, and you simply decline to pay the additional 2 mana, and it counters the Lotus Field trigger. You can also play Discontinuity, which is a 3 blue, blue, blue instant. However, crucially, as long as it's your turn, it only costs 1 and a blue to cast, and it immediately ends the turn. So what you do is you float 2 mana, including 1 blue, you play the Lotus Field, and then with its trigger on the stack, you play Discontinuity. That ends the turn. It exiles all spells and abilities from the stack, so that trigger never resolves. And the final one is we have 1 copy of Tail's End, which counters target activated ability, triggered ability, or legendary spell. So you simply counter the trigger from the Lotus Field as it enters the battlefield. And apart from that, the build of this deck is what you would generally find in quite a traditional blue-white control deck. So you have counter spells in the form of Jawari Disruption and Neutralize. You have removal spells, March of Otherworldly Light, settle the Wreckage as a wrath against your opponent, Soul Partition to temporarily remove something, and then you have your card draw spells, so Memory Deluge, Cycling a Shark Typhoon, and then your Planeswalker suite. So you have Narset Parter of Veils, which is a powerful Planeswalker that stops your opponent drawing more than 1 card and could dig for non-creature, non-land cards into your hand. 3 copies of the Wandering Emperor, which is a flash planeswalker that exiles your opponent's creatures, creates creature tokens and pumps them up, and then 3 copies of 5 mana Teferi from Dominaria, which is one of the most powerful planeswalkers in the format. Functionally costs 3 mana because its +1 lets you untap 2 lands, can remove an opponent's threat, and its ultimate will eventually win you the game. And then you have 2 copies of Farewell as mass removal, as I say, the Shark Typhoons to cycle for card advantage for creatures, and can also act as a finisher in itself, and 1 copy of Emiria's Call, which creates angel tokens but can also act as a land. And then you have your classic blue-white dual land combination, a few functional lands in the form of Castle Ardenvale, Hall of the Storm Giants, Iganjo, and Otawara, but crucially in this deck, as described, which you won't find in the traditional blue-white control list, you have the 4 copies of Lotus Field. So it can function without them, and as I say, it functions just as a kind of conventional blue-white control deck, but it does have this fun interaction where you can play Lotus Field, prevent its trigger from going off, ramping yourself to considerably more mana, and then Teferi's +1 ability will allow you to untap Lotus Field. So instead of just getting the conventional 1 mana from the land you untap, it'll in fact be 3. So that's the main board, and then if we look at the sideboard, we have some kind of classic control sideboard. So we have a Fateful Absence as more removal, Dovin's Veto to bring in against decks using a lot of non-creature spells, Hullbreaker Horror as another finisher and a kind of and something to break the stalemate in control mirrors, another March of Otherworldly Light to act as another removal spell, Rest in Peace as graveyard interaction, 3 copies of Mystical Dispute, another Teferi Hero of Dominaria if you want to bring it in, and another copy of Farewell. So that's the deck. As I say, it's a bit of a spicy one. I do like it. I've tested it a little bit, and it's been quite powerful. You know, blue-white control is a powerful deck in the format, and this just adds a little bit more variety and spice to it. So let's jump onto the ladder. It's a new rank, so we are a new month rather. So we are back down in gold. So let's see how quickly we can get back into platinum and play this deck against a few others. So let's see how we go on. Okay, here we go. I can imagine this is going to annoy quite a few of our opponents, which I'm all about. When I'm playing Control, there's no point pretending that you're not being annoying when you're playing Control, so just lean into it. Yeah, so we have 2 copies of Lotus Field here. We have the lands we need, and discontinuities. Well, in fact, we have far too much of the combination, but I'm happy to keep this and just create a very powerful land start. So let's play this tapped. The next turn we can play Hollowed Fountain. Okay, so they are playing Wanderer, so to play around a counter spell, I'm going to land my Strict Proctor now. And also acts as a blocker for their Wanderer. Ascendant Spirit is fine. That will counter that ability, but it doesn't matter because they're not attacking. So let's play the field. Decline. And let's play another Strict Proctor. I'm happy with that, and then we can play another Lotus Field next turn, ramp up to 8 mana, so we'll be able to do anything we like. Let's attack. And we have Farewell and March of Otherworldly Light. Do want to draw into some of our Planeswalkers at some point. So they are now going to have to pay 4 if they want that Mausoleum Wanderer's ability to trigger. So that's a very fun little interaction there. And we can at some point just end their turn if it looks like they might go off at all, because we don't need that now, we have the Proctors. Okay, another Wanderer, so they are building up quite a board. So we'll have to keep an eye out for a Lord. But nothing as yet. Okay, let's play the other Lotus Field. I'm happy to just pass the turn here and hold up the March of Otherworldly Light. And we can move towards casting Farewell if we really want to. Which I think we're going to do, as they've only got 1 mana open now. So let's block. Oh, or do we wait and play Shark Typhoon? No, I think we will attack. Cast Farewell, exiling creatures and graveyards. They might be able to phase out one of their creatures. Yep, that makes sense from their perspective. Won't stop us casting it, but... Let's play a Hollowed Fountain tapped. So we are still in the market for some more action, but we are doing quite well. No, I think we will just Shackle the Sark Typhoon. Okay, they have a Rattle Chains, that's fine. So let's cycle this for 5, holding up... no, let's cycle it for 4, holding up the Iganjo ability, just in case we want it. Okay, Narset's good. Let's block here. Okay, let's try and play Narset. So this has very much been a bit of a showcase for how this deck can work. Take a neutralize, play another land. So we have a counterspell, Iganjo and March. Yep, happy for them to have that. So I don't know what's in their hand. It could just be land, it could be more rattle chains. Nope. So they're not interested in saving their... Okay, they have a Shacklegeist. I think I'm happy to just counter that. They may well have a counter in response. Yep, that's okay. They're out of cards, so let's dig with Narset. Take Teferi. Play Teferi. Draw a card. Yep, okay. I don't think they were going to come back from that anytime soon. So let's board in 3 Mystical Disputes. Maybe 1 Veto, another March. I quite like... do I like Settle the Wreckage? They can generally counter it, actually, so I might take that one out. Farewell was good there, but I think it's too expensive generally. And maybe just 1 less copy of Deluge. 1 fewer, rather, don't at me. Okay. So let's see what our opponent can do against us from sideboarding. So I think Spirits will bring in some of Mystical Disputes of their own, maybe a few other things. Ooh, okay. No, I do not like this hand. This one is okay. So let's pop back the discontinuity. Yeah. We only need 1. Let's play Deserted Beach. Spectral Sailor is fine. Let's play Otawara. Hold up Disruption. I'm happy to play Island here and just pass the turn again. Okay, Phantom is a thing. So let's take down their Spectral Sailor before it can start drawing them cards. What should we do here? Let's attempt to land a Proctor. That's fine, we have another one next turn. So let's play this tapped, because I don't think we're going to be countering anything by making them pay 1 anytime soon. Okay, they've got another Phantom. Okay, let's try and land another. Nope, still not having it. In which case I'm just happy to sacrifice the lands now. So we're on the back foot a little bit here. Yep, they've got Curious Obsession. And a Wanderer. Okay, that's going to be a challenge. Let's try and play Narset. Okay. Dig for a... Okay, March is good. So let's try and exile their Supreme Phantom. They may well sacrifice Mausoleum Wanderer in response, but it gets 3 power off the battlefield. Nope. Okay, we are done. Let's go to game 3. So that was a good show by our opponent there. Not sure there was anything we could do. They just had one too many counter spells. I'm going to put in another veto, take out neutralize. Apart from that, I'm happy to run it back. Well, they hated their hand that much, eh? That is, I mean, I would normally, you know, try at least mulliganing once. Yeesh. Okay. We move on. So I'm not sure how to feel about that one. Maybe our opponent just really needed the toilet, but nothing we can do. That is a terrible hand. That is not a huge amount better, but it will have to do. So hopefully we can draw some more land. Yep, so we're getting Thought Seized. Greasefang. Smells like Greasefang. Yep. That is disappointing, to say the least. Let's hope we can draw one of our other combo pieces. Yep, I would be prepared to bet a significant amount of money that this is Greasefang, and indeed it is. Let's play Narset. Dig, dig, dig. Let's take March. I would take Settle, but we don't have the land to play it. Now we just hope they don't turn 3. Okay, they're not. They're playing Liliana of the Veil. Say go. Hope that our own Teferi can draw us out of this particular predicament. Right. Let's exile that. Oh dear, there goes our Teferi. Okay, so they've got a Parhelion, a Chariot, and a Sky Sovereign in their hand now. So we do at least have the ability to activate Castle Vantress. Nope, we are dead. Okay, that was pretty disappointing, but let's go to game 2. Hello, rest in peace, my good friend. March is good against Greasefang. Farewell can be good if the game goes long. Settle the Wreckage is too slow. Just doesn't work on by the time you get to turn 4. One Neutralize can go. Put in Fatal Absence, as that's also a instant speed interaction. So is Soul Partition. We're on the play, so we're keeping the disruptions. Sorry, Narset. Playing 3 mana for a card that doesn't immediately impact the board, as powerful as you are, isn't going to work for us here. So let's do this. Okay. I'm not in love with it, I have to say, but we can interact with some of their plays. That is good. Okay, better hope for more land now. 3 copies of Teferi very much isn't the one. No vehicles as yet. Yep, you can have that. Not surprising there. Keeps us off a land drop and stops us countering their stuff. I think we are pretty dead here, but let's play it out, because we might get to farewell. And if we do, then there's always the possibility that we might come back. So they're going to go grab their chariot. Chariot will then attack. Oh, Lord. No, I think we've got to hold up the Wandering Emperor. There goes Parhelion. Okay, this has been a fairly shambolic showing for our deck against Greasefang, but that's okay. We had 2 pretty poor draws. So we live and learn and move on. And we're back. I'm actually recording this 3rd match a day after, because Arena threw a bit of a tantrum, disconnected me, and then started lagging terribly. So let's try again today. Yes, that's okay. We don't have any of our Lotus Fields, but we have a turn 2 play, some interaction. Yeah, it's not great, but not really worth mulliganing. Green. No turn 1 mana elf though, so that's always a good sign. Maybe draw into a Lotus Field, hopefully. Our opponent seems deep in the tank on just turn 2. Another green. Okay, so they are on mono green devotion. They just didn't have an elf. That's fine. We will play Strict Proctor. This will stop their triggers anyway. There's Khan. What are they going to fetch? Something fun, no doubt. Something fair and balanced, just like this card. So maybe they fetch a boat or, no, the Stone Brain. Okay, so they're going to try and take out some of our combo pieces. But I'm happy to counter it when they try and play it. So they also don't have 3 green now for Troll, so that's good. See if they just burn Khan here to go and get something else. Nope, okay. Another Haven. So let's drop a Lotus Field. Decline. Play Narset. Let's take a Deluge, I think. Storm the Festival, perhaps? No, Kiora. Wow, good pun, Kiora. Thank you for that. I feel so much better now. So they still don't have a huge amount of devotion, but they do have 6 mana. But it is, with this, it does mean their Cavalier trigger won't go off if they play it. So that's good. Oh, I see. They're a thinker, this this player. So they are trying to get to 7 mana. Okay, I mean, they want to land that much, they're going to have to decide which trigger they want. Well, that's slightly awkward, isn't it? Okay. Let's see what Khan can go and get. Okay, Leveler. So let's Grab Teferi. So 3, 4, 5, 6. So if we play Deserted Beach, we can hold up both Neutralize and the Wandering Emperor. So I think that's pretty good. So no attacks. Let's hope they play Leveler. And indeed they did. But I'm happy to counter it, even though they can unearth it later, but that's just what we have to live with. Okay, down comes the Emperor. Okay, let's drop another Lotus Field. Decline. Let's attack. Let's play Teferi. Draw. Then end the turn, untap our 2 Lotus Fields, and I think if they unearth their Cityscape, I will simply end the turn before it gets its attack trigger. They will draw a card off Kiora. Oh, actually, does that mean it? Hang on. Okay, I think that's fine. Yeah, so that means it sticks around, but what I'm going to do is just pop it away. Because it just leaves the battlefield. Yep, okay, that was a good first game against Mono Green. So I think another Farewell is good here. I like a couple of Dovin's vetoes, another March. Maybe a couple of Rest in Pieces, just anything that kind of has exile effects is good here. So let's take out Jawari Disruption on the draw. Gonna take out Soul Partition as well. Slowing them down like that doesn't appeal to me a huge amount. Maybe a Neutralize as well on the draw. What else? What else? I think we're going to take out Discontinuity as well. It's just a bit too slow at the moment. So let's run it back like this. Ooh. Nope. That's slightly better, so we will stick with it. Okay, they have their favourite elf. So we will play a deserted beach. Haven. Their deck is nothing if not predictable. If only I could exile lands. Wouldn't that be a joyous moment? But in the absence of that, let's just pass the turn. Another elf is fine. Cavalier, or perhaps Storm the Festival. No, just a troll. That's okay, I can live with that. So let's march for 3. Exiling our Emeria's Call, get rid of the troll. Go to our turn and hold up Neutralize. Yeah, no, I think we can do without that in our lives, drawing them cards. Okay, they've got Khan instead, which is in many ways better, so that's frustrating, but can't be helped. Okay, back to the leveler again. I will try cycling Shark Typhoon. If not, I think we're going to have to scoop this one up. Okay. Destroy 1 non-land permanent. Okay, well that's something. So they can go fetching with Khan again. But we are working towards a farewell here. No, they're just going to blow that up. Okay, let's pass the turn and hold up the Wandering Emperor. The Stone Brain. See what they go get. Yep, very sensible of them. So let's play Narset. Settle the Wreckage is far too late, so we are just dead. That is disappointing. They just had the right combination of cards there, but we will go to game 3. We will put back our Juari disruptions. Take out 1 March, 1 Settle, and hope for the best. We are at least on the play this time. Hopefully get a bit of a better opening hand. That one is okay, so I will keep it. Excellent draw. Let's cycle Shark. Land is good. Hope they can be baited into playing something good. Oh yes. We like very much. Okay, let's play another one. Hold up the Wandering Emperor. Yep, you can have that. Khan we will not accept. Another Farewell, so we just need the final land drop, and Farewell will be looking very tasty. We are in no particular hurry though, as they're not presenting a huge amount of a threat. Okay, Kiora. Cool story. She has some of the most ludicrous voice lines, but maybe we stan. Yeah. Okay, they are definitely trying to do something. Let's see how far they get. Another Cavalier. Oh, so I think we are definitely in the market for a Farewell now. So let's hope for a land. I'm happy to drop a Wandering Emperor here. Oh, that's frustrating, but it is what it is. So let's just hold up another Wandering Emperor. They don't quite have enough mana to storm. They still don't quite have enough mana to storm. Oh wait, no, they can, because they can just untap there, but again, we're not out of it. The lack of a sixth land is sad, but we will wait and see what they can do. Okay, they are storming again. Okay, Khan, they're off to go and get the Stone Brain, I would imagine. Yep. Okay, let's drop the Wandering Emperor in response. They don't know about our farewells, so let's see if they have the wherewithal to name it. Yep. More than a little frustrating, let's put it that way. Here are our lands, obviously, we get them now. Don't think there's anything we can do here. We'll draw with Teferi just in case. Let's try and... Nope. For want of a sixth land, that could have been a really good game for us, but it is what it is. We move on. Okay, so we've got time for one more. Yep, this is a good opening hand. Izzet, so maybe eight Pyromancers, some Phoenix variant, or just classic control. They don't seem particularly moved to do anything, so we will let them continue. Nothing? Okay. Fine. I am happy to play this tapped. Interesting, some Prismari commands, so I think I'm going to land the Wandering Emperor here. Create a 2/2. Interesting that they're making me discard, but sure. It's an unusual strategy from our opponent. Maybe they're just trolling us. Or maybe they just clicked the wrong mode by accident. They thought they were creating a treasure token and weren't. So just happy to hold up the Wandering Emperor again. They've got a lot of mana, but I'm not sure what they're going to do with it. So as we have redundant copies, I'm happy for them to just counter this one. Nope, they're not that fussed to do that either. Okay. Make another 2/2. Ooh, a Lotus Field. That's exciting. See if we can land a Teferi. Okay, so some sort of treasure shenanigans, creativity maybe. Okay, let's land a field. Ditch these two. Draw with Teferi. Untap, so we've got 5 mana open. So we have another Emperor. Or a March, or whatever we really want. So they've got 11 mana open, but don't seem to be doing much with it. I'm sure at some point something dramatic will happen. Maybe they'll creativity for like 5. Ooh, that's funky. Okay. I think I'm just happy to say no to that. Pop him away. And a concession. So yeah, some sort of blue-red control, Niv Mizzet. I'm not really sure what's going on here, but let's put in some mystical disputes, our Dovan's vetoes, maybe one Hullbreaker horror. Let's take out March. Settle. Disruption on the draw. And one farewell. Let's go hard control. I still don't know what they're doing. Maybe they don't know what they're doing. Maybe none of us know what we're doing. Well, I've got the combo, so I may as well use it. So let's play Island, just to hold up the dispute. Now we've got Veto held up as well. Cycle our farmland. So let's go to full control, drop the field. They can counter it if they want to, it's not the end of the world. Yep. Just more traditional Lotus Field now. Crackling Drake. Let's play Castle Vantress. To cycle another farmland. Hope we get through. Should really have added blue there, but okay, would have made a difference. Something other than land, perhaps? No? Okay, we're just going full land today. That's fun. Sure, you can have that. And I'm going to put it away again. Okay, that's not a land, but... So assuming they're just going to play Niv-Mizzet again next turn. Oh, what the hell. I don't think we're winning this one anyway. We're definitely not winning this one. Nope. Okay, let's go to game 3 and hope for something that isn't just land. Let's pop in another farewell. Pop back the disruptions. Take out the Hullbreaker Horror. One of the Deluges. One of the Neutralizers. Okay. Yep. Not a huge amount of action, but we've got counter spells for days, so may as well use them. Happy to land a Proctor here, just for a bit of something to do. Go ahead. Yes, you may do that. Fair enough. So cycle our neutralize here, as we've got enough counter spells to be going on with. Shark Typhoon's a good one. So there you go. If they play Niv-Mizzet, I will soul partition it. That we will pass on having on in this particular game, I think. Let's create a shark. Okay, another neutralize is good. So let's keep hammering away. Sure thing. Go ahead. So it's all a bit draw-go at the moment, but let's keep our neutralize, I think, now. Okay, Narset's a good one. Yeah, you can have that. Excellent. Right, let's tick down Narset. Let's fetch another Shark Typhoon. Sure thing. So, again, they're not building up to doing very much at the moment, but they've got a lot of mana. Let's not cycle here, because if we do, they can play Deluge. Same reason we can't play Teferi at the moment, so let's just pass. See if they're tempted. They are. Okay. Let's Mystical Dispute that. That I'm pretty happy about. They've still got a lot of land, but let's cycle a Shark. Put a bit of pressure on the board. See what they can do in response while we're tapped out. Okay, that's good. Let's go to combat. Still not happy trying to land Teferi into all that open mana, so let's just try and play a Strict Proctor just for another flying threat. Okay, good. Go ahead. We have Tails End and Neutralize and a Soul Partition for a Niv Mizzet, so... Crackling Drake, how do we feel about that? No. Let's say no. Not that interested in anything they can play for less than 4 mana. Oh, Dovin's Veto is good. Could have attempted to just kill them there with Hall, but I'm not that moved to do so, so let's try and play Teferi. Okay, they're just scoring. Does mean we get to land Tethers. Oh, Lotus Field is good, so let's end the turn, untap these lands. We've got 2 counter spells available to us. Okay, let's draw with Teferi. Go to combat. Drop a field. Good thing about this being a land entering the battlefield is that the trigger happens immediately, so they can't kill our Proctor in response. Well, they can, but it won't affect that ability. So, okay, interesting. Interesting, but not something that I'm interested in happening. So, decline. Almost actually paid it there. Let's play Proctor. Go to the end of turn. Untap, untap, which means we can hold up Hall of the Storm Giant as well. So we're in a pretty good spot here. Let's see what they can do. Okay, they're going to do something on our upkeep. Play Gearhulk. Fair enough. But I am going to counter its trigger, I'm afraid. So that will not save you. Just let them process this news for a moment. Yes. Oh no, they have the treasure. That's okay. They've used all of their... That is a bit of a... That is like... Ugh. That is a twist. I mean, that is a... You think you've paid the 4. Yeah. Good game. So yeah, that was Azorius Lotus Field Combo. I'm sure I can come up with a snappier title, but it's quite fun to play, as you can see. Now, you may be thinking, you know, what's the point of playing that deck when you can just play traditional blue-white control? And you'd be right to ask. There is no point. However, I do enjoy simply taking a good deck and adding a pointlessly complicated durdle right in the heart of it. And that's very much what this deck is doing, and I wouldn't have it any other way. So that's the deck. Here's the deck list one more time, and thank you for watching, and I will see you again soon.